Good morning. We are live today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very excited about the topic. So today we're going to be talking about marketing automation. And I feel like this is a very important topic with all the changes that we've been seeing in with AI and the technology in general. So let's go ahead and get started. So today, the focus is going to be mostly for the technology industry or really business to business, which is very similar, right? So let's go ahead and jump into the first slide. So in today's presentation, I'm going to focus on number one, the impact that the revenue impact that marketing automation has in companies. Now, what this means is basically think about when you go through the process of automating different process of marketing, what impact does that have on the brand awareness, but also on sales for the company? Next, we have the best practices for leveraging marketing automation. And lastly, of course, I'll share a few of the marketing tools. So let's go with number one. What is that revenue impact? Now, why is it that sales and marketing alignment increases the bottom line so much? Think about it. When marketing is running campaigns, they're thinking about, okay, we need to post this type of content, this type of case studies, or this type of messaging out there. If they are working in silos and not side by side with the sales team, most of the time that type of content is not really going to connect with the actual audience. That's why it's so important that you work alongside with your marketing department, with your sales department, right? Sales and marketing to be aligned. So when sales and marketing are aligned, companies have demonstrated to have a 208 higher marketing revenue. That's like more sales, 208% increase. This is a study that HubSpot um, put together, so you guys can just go to their website and find it. On top of this 208% higher revenue, there's a 36% higher customer retention rate. Now, this is a huge number because we all know that it's harder to get a new client than maintaining or retaining a current customer. So all of this together basically comes to a more than 10x return on the investment. So basically businesses that are leveraging automation for alignment of the sales and marketing department can see a 10x return on investment, which the way they do that is simply by reducing inefficiencies, by answering client or prospect questions before they even have the questions. So you're anticipating the needs of your prospects. And by doing this, you're basically improving your conversion rate. So it sounds very obvious, right? So of course, you want to increase your conversion rate. How do you do that? By anticipating those needs. How do you do that? By really knowing your customer journey and creating automation around that. Now, how can you get started today? So the way that you can get started to implement marketing automation in your companies, number one, you need to do an audit of both your marketing processes and your sales processes inside your company, because that's the only way that you can find gaps. What our goal when we work or onboard a new client, we're not only talking to the marketing team, we actually usually hold interviews with stakeholders within the organization, decision makers, and also the sales team, because I'm trying to identify gaps in the lead nurturing process of the customer itself. You truly need to understand that. And then look at your CRM and find out, your CRM is your customer relationship management software. If you don't have one, actually HubSpot, you can sign up for free. I have no affiliation with HubSpot, but I just know that they offer it for free. So you can basically find those gaps in your CRM and start creating content and marketing assets to fill in those gaps. So number one, you audit. Number two, you start obviously choosing which marketing automation tool works best for you, your goals and your business, and of course your budget. If you don't know that, I'll talk about some of the platforms at the end, so stay tuned. We're going to go over kind of like which one works best for what size of company. And then once you choose the tools, you have to define, okay, what are going to be the KPIs? So when you're choosing your KPIs, so basically your key performance indicators, you're not only choosing those for your marketing department, you also need to choose them for your sales department, but together, right? So they need to be shared KPIs for both teams because, again, you are integrating sales and marketing, all right? So then, of course, you'll set up all your lead scoring, and we'll talk about the best practices on the next slide. And then after that, of course, you're going to be able to have a successful marketing automation strategy and plan, everything set up together correctly and working together so that you can accomplish this 10x return on investment. All right, next, let's go over what are those best practices when you are talking about. I'm just going to go with all three. Okay. When you're talking about implementing any kind of marketing automation, right? So number one, you need to make sure that you are scoring your leads. So basically, this is why a customer relationship management software is important because it can help you score your leads, right? You need to assign a quality score so that you know that this lead is ready to buy or they're just on the awareness stage or they're already comparing vendors. So you need to understand where your lead is so that your sales team can pick up the phone and call them. You don't want your sales team to be calling cold leads. You want them to call warm and ideally hot leads, right? So scoring and intent data is extremely important. And you can actually choose predictive AI to help you with that. And the CRM softwares, of course, the paid versions, will help you assign those quality scores for your leads as you are tracking them based on historical behavior. And that's key, right? You want to make sure that all of the prediction is done based on triggers that are that you know your customer will go through as they get ready to purchase. This is why sales and marketing working together is so important because sales will tell you, oh yeah, this is the type of leads. These are the type of questions that I'm getting. This is a high quality lead for me. This is typically, kind of like the process that we go through, blah, blah, blah. And you go through all of that process. But marketing, what it's trying to identify is like, okay, so when they first reach out to you, they're not aware of what kind of questions are they asking themselves, what kind of question they need to move to that next phase. And you go identifying those questions, working alongside with your sales team until you figure it out and you're filling all of those gaps, but making sure that you are assigning a score on each stage as they move forward. Okay. Make sure that, of course, you're prioritizing high intent prospects. So high intent data or prospects basically means is that this is a lead that either is trying to book a demo, booked the demo but didn't show up to the meeting, or they've been downloading information that matches someone that's already ready to make a purchase. So pay attention to that so that your sales team doesn't waste time with cold leads, right? So number two, personalized nurturing. So you want to make sure that you're personalizing the approach to your prospect, but multi-channel, not only on one channel that you're personalizing. So for example, don't personalize the content just on their emails, right? Personalize it on the ads that they see, on the LinkedIn messagings that they get, text messages, whatever it is that you send out, right? A lot of people say, oh, I'm business to business. I don't send text messages. Well, we're all humans, right? The only machines is the one here in the picture. It's the ones that we're using to automate all of this. But you are dealing with a human on the other side. So don't ever forget that. So sending text messages can really set you apart from your competition, right? You just have to be very careful. You have to understand where that customer is on the stage, on their customer journey. And based on that, you send messages that make sense, right? But on the personalized nurturing, going back, you want to make sure that it's a multi-channel approach, right? So automated email sequences, but that are triggered by their behavior. The same with the LinkedIn messages or the follow-ups, that those could be the messages like, hey, you haven't booked your demo, right? So there could be a text message. The goal here is to ensure continuous engagement. That has to be your keyword in your head, continuous engagement. In the past, we would say that, oh, people needed to see you 8 times. You needed to have 8 touches to be able to convert someone into a customer. That number has gone as high as 17 touches. So we need to really focus on ensuring continuous engagement so that we can uh, convert that cold lead into a customer with personalized content, not generic content. Alrighty, so number 3 is automation. And I wanted to highlight LinkedIn automation because, of course, this content is mostly for tech companies, and tech companies, typically targeting other businesses, they're going to find it on LinkedIn. So make sure that you are choosing platforms that are going to help you either automate specifically on LinkedIn or even better, or multi-channel. Um, Basically, with this automation, you want to automate the outreach without looking spammy, right? You don't want to be a spam. You don't want to be marked as spam. That's a huge risk. So, of course, if you're sending personalized content, so if you follow the other 2 steps, you reduce your risk of being marked as spam because, of course, the content is going to be personalized. Personalized content usually has like a 30% increase on clicks and engagement, right? Things like using their names, things like if they went back to their website, now the page that they see is with the last page that they visited. Things like that can help you personalize that engagement. But on LinkedIn, you can personalize a message saying like, hey, I noticed that you were visiting this page on my website or something like that. And I know it sounds creepy, but really, we all know about automation nowadays, and it really shows that you care more than anything. So typically when we are customizing workflows for our clients, after we do the entire research, we want to make sure that we are matching that with their business model as well. And that's something that I want you to keep in mind, because your marketing efforts, your sales efforts, they need to match what the business model of the company is, because that's what's going to give the authenticity of your messaging and your campaigns as well. Otherwise, you're just going to be a generic message, which we all get them, especially on LinkedIn, right? You get so many email. You want to walk away from that. You want to make sure that everything is personalized and matches your company's values and business model as well. All right. So now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's talk about the tools. Now, I separated the tools in 2 sides, right? One is for like overall marketing, and the other one is more for like lead gen, sales slash LinkedIn, right? So all the automation there. So on marketing, we have, of course, like Hotspot. Hotspot, I've talked about Hotspot in the past. I noticed that my head is right there. Let me move that. Hotspot is a lead nurturing and a email automation tool, and it also works as a CRM, right? So there you go. It also works as a CRM, and it can really help you stay in touch with your clients. It's a tool that a lot of companies, especially in the business to business space, use. Salesforce is another one, very similar as well. And Marketo is another one as well. Marketo has a more advanced AI-driven lead scoring. And like I mentioned before, scoring is extremely important, especially for the sales team to be able to not waste resources. Then we have Pardot, which is by Salesforce, like I mentioned. Again, this is a B2B marketing automation for lead generation and allows you to do all the sales alignment as well. All of these tools, really. Zapier, on the other hand, oh, I didn't include Zapier. So Zapier, basically, it's another tool that can help you if you're not able to use any of these tools, because of course they come with a price tag. Zapier, which is also a paid version, can help you merge and have different tools working together. So you may want to go with that tool as well. And then lastly, we have Active Campaign, which is mostly for like emails or specific campaigns that you want to be running. Now, on the other side, we have more of a LinkedIn automation tools, right? We have Expandy, which Expandy is mostly cloud-based with personalized outreach of your content to your um, audience personas, right? That's key for you to be able to launch any of these type of campaigns to be successful, right? Now, Phantom Buster, what I like about that one is that it can extract data from LinkedIn, and then you can, of course, use that data with these other tools on the other side so that you can combine and have more of a global campaign, like a multi-channel, right? But also Phantom Busters can go beyond LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have Dax Soup, or however you want to pronounce it. This one automates profile visits, like messagings, follow-ups. You can endorse people and things like that, which makes it look more natural, right? What is key on all of these tools is the audience persona, all right? Subto is the same, it's an AI-driven LinkedIn automation tool. It helps you just basically focus on lead generation and just the engagement, just like basically all of the other ones. But I wanted to give you another tool. Now, if you have experience with any of these tools, make sure that you put them on the comments and kind of like vote for your favorite. Now, before you start working with any of these tools, I feel like you need to really work on a marketing audit and a sales audit of your team. If you don't know how to do that, if you need help, if you're looking for an agency to help you with that, make sure you reach out. We do usually have like our initial 30-minute consultation, which is really our audit to kind of like kick it off, right? It's not a full audit, but it helps you a lot to get this high kind of like vision of, okay, these are the big silos or these are the big issues that are easily seen out of this meeting. And then from there, that could be your first step. Usually our customers, our biggest differentiator is that we're able to create that foundation. So when we do the marketing audit, we have a strong foundation of, okay, this is the type of customer we're going after. So we create a really good audience persona. And then this is the process, their customer journey. And from there, we choose the keywords for the SEO, and then we go with the automation for lead generation as well. So, but everything starts with that foundation. You truly need to work on your marketing audit. That's the first step. And then from there, build your audience persona. On the comments, I'm going to put the link to our free audience persona template, so at least you can work with that. And if you want to book an appointment, a free consultation for those initial 30 minutes, just make sure that you go and visit me on my LinkedIn or just scan the code and book your appointment. And that's all I have for today. So hopefully, if you found this video valuable, make sure that you share it. Make sure that you also put on the comments, what else would you like me to cover on these type of webinars? And I'll be more than happy to prepare the content. All right. Thank you all. Have a great day.